In the year 2028, one Big Mac will equal $1 million. From the Gospel of John McAfee. Bro, just learn to code. The Project Freedom Podcast.
Boom. Welcome everyone to the Project Freedom Podcast. Your favorite tech podcast, blah, 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 insert whatever catchy phrase you want to right there. And today we're going to talk about, is college a good idea to get a job as a programmer or a developer or whatever? I set this stream up for Wednesday, and we had a Hot Dude Alliance webinar, so I had to push it back, and I know it disappeared in the algorithm. But I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. Still want to do this episode, and basically the reason I want to do this episode, somebody in the group we have several college students in our group. Somebody in the group came to one of the webinars, and we were talking to him, just doing like our basic check-ins, and I was asking him like, hey, what are you learning in school right now? Yada, yada, yada. And he went off to explain what he was learning in school, and I was surprised. I was also kind of upset too. I was upset for him that he had to, like, basically, in my opinion, be wasting his time and money paying for tuition to go and attend this school. And I don't think he was getting his money's worth, in my opinion. And that kind of brought on this topic. And I think, and me, as someone who graduated from a university with a computer science degree back in 2015, and even back then, I don't think that I got what I needed from the school. I would venture to say that people are getting even less what they think they're going to get today. And honestly, it's kind of like upsetting because people go to school and they think, okay, I'm going to take out loans, and some of these schools, guys, it costs like some students end up several hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to attend these schools. And they don't get a whole lot out of it, in my opinion. I think job statistics show that these days, but hey, that's just me. So let's just get right into it and knock this one out, because while it's still fresh in my mind, because I think people need to hear about this. Young people need to hear about this before they go into school. So the guy in the group, I'll call him what am I going to call him? I'll call him Ricky Bobby. The guy in the group, we'll just call him Ricky. Ricky, when we have our meta webinars, we do these things called check-ins, and everyone just kind of like explains what they're working on currently, if they have any problems with something, if they need help. And Ricky Bobby, he's been with the group for, I don't know, at least 8 months. He's kind of already automated. He already knows how to code. So we don't really give him a lot of like stuff to work on. He has his path. He got a great internship. And he's accomplished a lot. His list of accomplishments is far too long for me to sit here and explain what they are. But as usual, when he came to check in, I was like, yeah, dude, how's school going on? You're almost done, right? Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, man, I am, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, what are you learning right now in school? And he's always told us some like crazy things that they make him do in school. But this time, and he just that's just him explaining it to us. This time he actually showed us some of the things that he was learning in school. And I got a little kind of like, I got a little worried, to be honest with you. So first of all, when he joined, he was a junior in computer science department, and he really didn't have hardly any idea how to code. All right. That part didn't surprise me because when I was a junior in college, I really didn't know how to code either. And I think that I knew, like, I understood basic fundamentals, but as far as like me actually coding, hardly had any experience doing it because it never really made us actually code. Which, by the way, guys, newsflash: if you want to code, you have to actually put your hands on the keyboard and fucking code. And we explained that to him when we first got there. He took a couple courses with us, and this isn't just me plugging Developer Direction. This gentleman will tell you that he learned how to code more so from us than from his college education. All right. So got that out of the way. He came in. He knew very minimal things about code. He knew a little bit, but got with us, learned a little bit. Okay. And then over time, he explained how like awkward it is for him to be a student in school. And like most of us are like, why, dude? Well, believe it or not, he is kind of forced in school to, in computer science classes too. No lie, no lie here, guys. In computer science classes, take tests, write papers, take surveys on his level of what they call privilege. Okay. In actual computer science classes. So he pulled up this chart. Now, I thought about putting the chart on the channel on the stream tonight, but I took a screenshot of the chart and it didn't have any information about the school or the student. But I decided not to because I figured just like putting that on the screen might make something in the algorithm upset. So you guys are gonna have to take my word for it, or just DM me on Telegram and Instagram, and I can show you guys the screenshot. But one of the classes he was having, he had a graph, all right, and it was aligned to the middle, and on the top there was like 18 different words. On the bottom, 18, 20 different words as well. And all the ones on the top were considered to be privileged, and all the ones on the bottom were considered to be not privileged. All right. He was supposed to circle on there where he lied in the privilege spectrum, and because of his genetic lineage and because of his appearance, he scored as if he was privileged. But let me tell you something about this guy. He is most certainly not privileged at all. In fact, I would say that this young man, this student, he was probably least privileged than most people that I know. Okay, we can explain why in a second. But when he was taking the test, privilege, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, are they actually making you like do this for homework? And he's like, yeah. So first of all, it's just strange to me that now a college senior in a computer science department at a large school too is circling on a piece of paper with a fucking crayon, basically. All right. First of all, like, at least if you're gonna like make him do work on something like that, at least make it like a little bit like intellectual, right? Let's not just draw like a child on paper, because we all just did that in kindergarten, right? Could just go ahead and just go back to kindergarten and do the same thing, right? Now, what else was he learning? He was also in the process of writing some kind of essay about how they can make software non-racist. I'm sure it's possible if you had some kind of software to make it be prejudiced towards some person. Like I'm trying to think of a situation where software could be prejudiced to begin with. Maybe like credit score. I don't know, but I don't think you get that kind of information to those people. Like, do you guys know any software that, other than like Google, when you sign up for an account, it'll ask you like what your age and gender is? or for governmental things. So unless it's for the government, I don't know. Maybe the government should rethink their policies if that's a big problem. Anyway, this is what he was learning in his computer science classes. All right. So it's just really sad to see people like, look, I'm not here to say like nobody needs to care about like the latest social fad. All right. No, I'm not saying that, but me personally, and if you don't like that I say this, I'm sorry. I'm going to say it anyway on YouTube for my reputation. If I am in school or I'm at a job or I'm doing something, I don't want to be thinking about anything about that. Okay. I want to be thinking about how can I finish this job the best way possible? How can I finish this without any sort of like interference that's irrelevant to the task at hand? Let alone thinking about having to make this whatever thing I'm doing, like having to like explain why I am a privileged person or not. Which, by the way, this kid is. Let me. By the way, he's now labeled as privileged in his school for whatever reason. But let me tell you about this guy. Okay, college student, 31 years old. All right, rather old for a college student. He didn't get what he wanted out of life the first time around because he was a single father. He literally couldn't afford or have the time to go to school when he was normal college student age. Okay. Second of all, aside from being a single father, if my dog would stop moving the camera, see, at least he's not a single father of a spotted ibex. But aside from being a single father and being a full-time college student, he's also working multiple jobs. Okay, multiple jobs just to be able to afford the things that he needs to afford in life. Okay, and good on him. He should be doing extra work, and he's doing a fucking kick-ass job while learning how to code at the same time. So that's kudos to your privilege, my friend. Kudos to your privilege, right? That is what is going on in a lot of college universities right now. And yeah, guys, I don't think that when people are 18 years old that they have the proper information that they need to know whether or not they're going to get what they're paying for, let alone if they're even going. Most of them don't even know how much they're even going to be paying. Okay, so I want to share some with you guys, and let's let me see where I can find this. Let's look at my school, where I went to school. Let's just see where I went to school. I want to look at tuition prices. So let's find this. All right. Here you go, guys. Here you go. Can I make this bigger? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. So I'm going to dox myself here, guys. Ooh. Sorry, guys. I had to mute because I had a huge loogie in my throat. All right. So for your information, ladies and gentlemen, I went to the University of Mississippi, formerly known as Ole Miss. But let's look at the cost of attendance of this university. And I'm just picking this university because this is where I went to school. All right. Now, Ole Miss is a pretty well-known school, but it's no Harvard, even though everyone there is like, we're the Harvard of the South. Man, the furthest thing from Harvard. Not like being Harvard's great or anything anyway. But let's go ahead and see. I mean, this is a school that normal people would attend. All right. So here's going to be undergraduate student full-time. And this is per semester, guys, by the way. Let's see. So I can prove that to you guys. Because I looked at this yesterday. SEMEST. All right. Only charged based on full-time enrollment, 12 hours undergraduate pharmacy, which, by the way, guys, most people are taking more than 12 hours for both fall and spring semesters academic year. Okay. So, and it's about like $1,000 or $2,000 higher per semester than what it was when I was there. But anyway, inflation. So an undergraduate student that is going to be from which one is out of state? Let's see. Undergraduate student, full-time enrollment. And this one is non-residents. Okay, let's see. Dependent undergraduates living with parents only while enrolled. Okay, so living with parents. All right. Tuition, $8,934 per semester. All right, it's a lot. Capital improvement fees, $100. I don't know what this is. Housing, $0 because they're living with their parents. Okay. I don't know a single person who went to Ole Miss that lived with their parents. Literally didn't know a single person. Maybe I could have just been in my own little world, but hey, whatever. Food, $4,628. Book supplies, $100. This is a lie. Can guarantee this is like a lower number. People are definitely spending $2, $3, $4 when I was there for books. Personal, $3,000. Not if you're going to the fucking square, that's for sure. Travel, that's probably right. Total for residents, okay, and then total for non-residents. So this is whether or not, and residence means in-state, non-resident means out-of-state, okay? So whether or not you were living with your parents or you happen to not be from Mississippi, which most likely not the case. 60-something% of people that go to Ole Miss were from out of state. I was from out of state. I was from Louisiana. Although the first 2 years you have to pay out of state, then you can get a license in Mississippi, and then you can pay in-state tuition. Saves a little bit of money. It's not a whole lot. This is if you live with your parents, guys, for semester, right? Okay. Now let's look at students that don't live with their parents, like most college students, like this guy. All right, it's the same, except housing is going to cost $6,514 per semester. I don't think that's, let's see, hold on. That's a weird number. 6,514 divided by 6 months. $1,085 for rent. Okay, that's not, okay, that's about normal. Okay, all right. Touche. All right. Total for residents, total for non-residents. All right. Per semester, guys. So let's take the most expensive one here just because I want to be a jackass. $43,788. All right. $43,788. Let me get a calculator out over here so you guys can see that. All right. Where does Beto? Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me set the calculator up for you guys. All right. Boom. Okay. 40, where is it? $43,788 times 2. All right. So about $87,000 per year. Just pocket change, right, guys? That's 1 year. And let's just say, let's say you do computer science in 4 years and not 5 or 6, like some people do. So let's multiply this number times 4. $305,000. All right. Okay. I rest my case. And that's Ole Miss is a more expensive school than most, but it's a public university. All right. It's an SEC school. So it's not as much as a private school like Tulane University of New Orleans or Harvard or Yale or any one of those big universities up there. In fact, there's a lot of small private universities that are much more expensive than this as well. Okay. So now you need to ask yourself, if you decide to take that much money out, how many 18-year-olds have more than $250,000 in their pocket that are just going to pay for that all out of cash? Not many, right? So now you need to ask yourself, if you're going to pay that much to learn about social justice and not computer science, and you graduate and you can't get a job, are you going to be able to pay that money back? And even if you do graduate and get a job, how long is it going to take for you to pay that much money back? Because that's a lot of money, guys. That's no joke. That's no joke. There is no fucking joke to be in $350,000 of debt that cannot be, you cannot default or you can't file bankruptcy on student loans. You just can't. You can fuck up a business, you can fuck up with real estate, and you can file for bankruptcy and all that. You can't with student loans. Okay, guys? You just can't. So that is what infuriates me more than fucking anything. And hence is the reason why Developer Direction was created. Which, by the way, we have had several people this year get jobs with 0 degrees. Woo woo. But that's not what we're here for. That's not what the stream's for. Let me check on you guys. Sam saying yes, says yes. Cool, yeah. What up? What's up, my friend? Good to see you in this stream tonight. Alex says yo, yo, yo. MLD back from seclusion? No, not yet. He's going to come back in like the December-ish time frame. He's going to come down here to go to Miami, Florida, though. Ashley Schaefer, BMW in the house. What is up, man? Good to see you tonight. Coil says hands on the keyboard. Yep, that's what you got to do. They don't even make you do that in school anymore. Apparently not. Win Emery says hello. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Max Dignitas in the hoose says, the only time you need to discuss privilege in a computer science class is when you're explaining the sudo command. Yep. Hello again. Alex, I know your other comment was from the other night when the stream was up. 43K semester, that's a lot. Yeah, it is, dude. It's a lot, man. It is a lot. Archer says that's insane. Yeah, that's the point of this stream, guys. Hey, and I was non-biased. Well, maybe that was biased because I choose my university, but the reason I chose my university is because it's realistic, right? And you guys can sit here. I can tell you guys, I went to this school, okay? So I know how much money it cost, all right? It didn't cost that much back in the day, but it's not like I chose. It's not like me. I was like, hey, let me just choose like the most expensive university in the country, right? I chose my university from bumfuck Mississippi, all right? Which, I mean, okay. Granted, it's an SEC school. It's a big school, but replace that with LSU because their tuition's about the same. Replace that with Bama. Replace that with Auburn. Replace that with any of the SEC schools, all right? Tuition's going to be the same, okay? Close to it. Joshua Scott says, halfway done with quarter, basically learning nothing in computer programming. What's worse, I'm losing interest in self-study. Yeah, dude. Join Developer Direction. I mean that sincerely. Like, there's people in this chat who will tell you. College is a fucking joke. Yes, it is, dude. It is now. It used to not be, guys. It used to not be. Now, there's a couple reasons, like, I think that made it what it is today. But first of all, college is not for everyone, and everyone is told that when they're like 2 years old, if you don't go to college, you fucked. All right. But that's definitely not true. Most likely, most people, let's say 100 people go to college, 80 of those people that go to college, they're going to be fucked because they went to college. All right. Nonstop Dre 360 says, but they say you can't put a price on education. Yeah, my mom used to say that. Sorry, Mom. You're wrong if you're watching. Hate to break it to you. I think you know now, though. Using VA benefits to pay for a coding bootcamp right now, good. Don't pay for college. Unless it's free. Only in school because GI Bill goes $3K a month. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you can get someone to subsidize it for you guys, which is what I tell people, then definitely do it, you know. But at that point, you're doing it. You're just doing it because it's free, and you're doing it for the piece of paper. Because I can tell you guys personal experience, college isn't enough to get you a job as a programmer, okay? You need to know how to actually code. And if you can't do that through the school, Max Signita says, that feel when you pay $43K to be assigned homework that you still end up solving with the free resources available on the internet. Awkward. 6 years for a CS degree. Is that common? It took me 6 years. It took me 5 years. 5 years in 5 years in one summer semester. So not even a real one. But it was a 5-year program. And I was undecided my first 1, 2, 3, 4, my first 5 semesters of school. I was undecided major. I just took electives. So technically I did it in a smaller amount of time than what it should have taken. But yeah, people at Ole Miss, there was seniors and there was super seniors, and then there was super duper seniors. And there was a lot of super duper seniors, trust me. And actually, let me explain that again too. You know why there's so many super seniors and super duper seniors? Because they know when they go into the real world, they're fucked, and they just want to keep enjoying life. That's it. That's why. School is just college is an adult. It's not, you're not even a kid anymore, an adult daycare, I guess. I hate to say that, but it's kind of true nowadays. It really is. That's coming from someone who went to college. Looking into VA, vet tech program will pay 100% for select coding programs. Yeah. Use the internet, bro. Kolya says they also place a financial hold on students' accounts if they don't take the J-A-B and call it a hazard cost. Yikes, dude. That must really fucking suck too, man. Patricio says, I'm oppressed. Give me money. Yes, Patricio, our friend, our favorite Latino friend is oppressed, and we all need to give him money. Don't worry, Patricio. I'm going to send to you on Cash App right after the stream, my friend. T-Man Scott said, did you show everybody the SJ diagram? No, I didn't. Should I show it, guys? You want me to just show it? I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't take a screenshot. Is it a bad idea to show it? You think? Okay, I'm going to show it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I know you guys want to see it. All right. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's just do this right here. All right. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have any look, I'm just going to pretend, guys, this is everyone they might be watching. Shh. We just got to pretend that we're doing this to be very just and social. Shh. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm going to show it now. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So here you guys can see. He had to draw on here. Which one of these, if he was he's fertile. So we know he's fertile because he has a kid. So goddamn, you're fucked if you're fertile, you goddamn fertile asshole. You see, guys, I am Jewish, so I'm partially Jewish, so I'm a quarter Jew. So I'm not going to be right here. Nope. Language bias, attractive. Well, I am attractive, so I'm definitely going to be on here. Young. I'm going to be 30 next week, so I don't know. Credentialed. The fuck is credentialed mean, dude? What the fuck? Do you have certifications? Oh my God. Able-bodied. This word that I don't want to say on stream. European heritage. This also word that I don't want to say on stream. A male. If you got some. Tiene juegos. Patricio. Tiene juegos. Tiene huevos. Tiene huevos. Tiene huevos, Patricio. Male and masculine, female and feminine. So if you're any of these things, guys, you better watch out because you are scum of the earth. I got to take this off the screen because I'm. All right. So that is what he was learning in his computer science class at that moment in time. Shoosh. So there you go, fellas. There you go. Coila says a big issue is that a lot of SJ, you know what the last letter is, students never kept hands on keyboard and had a panic attack when they came close to graduating. Which, by the way, guys, the guy in the chat, since it's not his real name, I don't mind saying it. This is the student that I'm talking about right here, right? So they go to grad school with master thesis about diversity and inclusion in computer science. So they didn't make anything cool. They didn't create a new inventive way to implement the search and sort algorithm. They just had a paper about that. And yeah, Tom RKBA says, "Hey all, what's up, dude? I paid Patricio $450. Patricio, I'll send you some sats, bro. I'll send you some sats." Nah, LOL. Boom. I'm late. Good to see you, Cody. It's a diagram of the mentally insolvent. Ashley Schaefer BMW says you can buy multiple rental properties for that price. Yeah, you can, dude. Yes, you can, and you can actually get in debt for that much for multiple rental properties, and you can be making money with that debt. But they're not going to tell you that, are they? Nonstop Dre 360 says college is high school 2.0, but with debt you can't file bankruptcy on. It's all by design. Yeah, it's almost kind of like they want it. Millennial says throttle the internet quick. This dude knows. Max Nita says if you zoom in close enough, it's just an asshole. Quarter to Josh, you could be on Crowder's show. Crowder, let me on, bro. Let me on you, bro. Come on. Shalom. Meshuggah. Kafelgafish. My MCSE makes me an oppressor. Good. Do you have eggs? Yes. Do you have huevos? Get it? Like eggs? Get it, bro? Come on, bro. We're talking about masculine. Patricio, come on, bro. How am I gonna let you in the border like that, Patricio? Look, you and me need to split that. You know what I'm talking about? That 450K, Patricio. I'm gonna let you in. You know, I'm gonna help you. You're gonna help me. Seems like even trade to me. They sell eggs at the store for now. Jesus Christ, just saw the chart. Yep. Kyle W says, I can't imagine my university is far behind this. I think Ole Miss is probably worse than this from what I'm hearing now. And I think the reason is because Ole Miss had a reputation of being, well, you guys know. Look away. You guys know why, right? And so they've gone like completely opposite direction to be able to to be able to just flash their badge of how like just they are on everybody. You guys know the phrase that I'm thinking about. I just don't know where it is right now. Howdy. Good to see you. Christian Soto in the chat. Is that a real diagram from college class? Yes, it is. Ask the man in the chat because that was his diagram. My student from Developer Direction. Yes. Anup V says, what did I miss? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Ban whoever this person is in the chat with the webcam -HD ZYZZ. Blocketh you. Get out of my chat. Get out of here. I have huevos, of course. Do you? Yes, I do. I have about 3 left in my fridge. You got to have an extra. You can't just have 2 all the time. You got to have an extra in the fridge, right? The chart from the other night. Anup. Is Anup in Develop Direction? If they are, I don't know what their real name is. Then they wouldn't. Then you would know. Then you would know if you were in that webinar. Danger. How did I miss that? Whoa! I was gonna click on that site. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. They just want your private keys, guys. They just want your private keys. All right. So we did some math. That's a lot of money, right, guys? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of dough. All right. Was it worth it? Would it be worth it? How many years would take? So let's just say, yeah, he's not in DD. So he's not going to know what that is, Tom. And up we were discussing, we have one of the college guys in Developer Direction. He was telling us some of the stuff that he was learning in school in his computer science classes, and it was completely uncomputer science related. Let's just say, well, he was learning about how privileged he was, even though he's not the most privileged person at all. Actually, he's an extremely, I would say, underprivileged person who is extremely hardworking. But anyway, nothing to do with computer science. Non-Surgery says, I'm seeing college kids complain about the root beer as if it's the Black Plague. SMH root beer. What does that mean? Root beer? What does that mean? Is that a code word that I need to know that I don't know? Quilla says the surveys are worse than the graph. Yeah, I bet. How many How many credits do you get for that nonsensical class? Yeah. Koya, how many credits did you get for that class, my friend? This? Okay. Okay. Yeah, how many credits did you get from that class, man? I want to know. Probably 3. I mean, that was what? Comp sci 2 something, right? 4 credits. That makes me so mad. And it's a core class. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, guys, so let's do the math on this. Let's actually just round it off to let's just round it off to 350K, all right? 350. Okay. All right, what if you wanted to pay this off in, I don't know, 10 years, which, by the way, from what my understanding is that most college debt is not paid off in 10 years, but let's just divide it by 10. So you have to pay 35 grand a year, not including interest. All right, we're not even calculating interest in this. All right, so let's say you start out in your first job. Let's say you didn't learn how to code at all and you didn't even get a job, and your first job is like, I don't know, you have an okay job out of school, 50K a year. All right. Minus 35K. Actually, you know what? We're going to take out taxes for that too. 50K times, what are they paying? Probably going to pay like, well, if you're privileged, you're probably going to be paying that much in taxes. So let's deduct $10,000 from that. Now you're at 40K. All right. And you wanted to pay off that $35,000. Well, that leaves you with a whopping $5 grand per year to pay your rent, food, car note. Maybe you got a kid. Maybe you got everything else got to pay for. All right. So you definitely can't be paying that 35 grand that first year. I think I made my point. I rest my case on that. I don't need to talk about how long it's going to take to pay that off. So, are college students getting what they feel like they are? I don't think so. I think a lot of us were all tricked, and I was tricked too. Fortunately for me, I did not have to accrue anywhere near as much debt for college. When my grandfather, may God rest his soul, passed away, he left me with enough money to and it wasn't given to me, so I couldn't go and buy things with it. Pay for a majority of my tuition. I got out with maybe 20 grand of student loans. That's it. All right. I paid majority of that back. I really don't want to pay any more back because I feel like fuck you. And I could just pay it back, if I wanted to, but not everyone is in my situation. Okay. I have done a lot more. In my life than just work a normal programming job, which were very good paying jobs, by the way. And even if you had a very good paying programming job, it would be hard. It would be hard to pay that back in 10 years. I can guarantee it, guys. I can guarantee it. Mark my fucking words. Or you can struggle very hard and do that. And your first 10 years of adulthood, you're going to have a miserable life because you literally can't afford to do anything. If you don't pass, you don't graduate for that class. Okay. C 1984. Okay, I know what you mean now. Debt you can't dismiss, and the feds and get that Fed BS. Yep. Plus $172 a month if you don't have that card. Okay. The green card. I see. Makes you think, guys. Makes you think. So what we're talking about tonight, let's just say, and let's just not even talk about computer science, all right? Let's just say you got a degree in just general business, all right? Did you get enough out of that education to justify, if I'm gonna have to pay $350K for something? All right, hold on, guys. Let's see. Let me look at this. All right, you want to know what I'm expecting if I'm paying $350K? You want to know what I would expect? Why can't I ever find this thing? Yeah, we can go with the 5.7. Yes, okay. You want guys? You want to know what I would expect if I'm paying that kind of money? And what I'm about to show you guys, you can get for far less than that. All right, believe it or not, far less than that. I would expect at least to be able to get one of these puppers right here. I mean, sheesh. I mean, am I going to get at least 562 horsepower out of it? Am I going to go to 0-60 in at least 3.5 seconds? And this is what that's less than 2/3 the price. Is that justified, guys? I don't think so. Right now, granted, I'm talking about material possessions, and you can't put a price on education. You kind of can, because what's the whole point of doing? What's the whole price of the education? What's the whole point of it? Let's just be realistic with ourselves. So you can go. The idea is, at least, doesn't always have to be the case, or isn't always the case. The idea is so that you can go and get a job that's going to be fruitful for you in your future. Is it going to be McLaren fruitful? I don't think so. I really don't, guys. And I know I'm kind of being facetious and funny here, but I'm being serious. I'm being dead ass serious, y'all. So define education. I've been noticing that more college kids are going to master's or PhD. Yep. I think I can explain why. Kind of like how Mr. Koya was explaining in the chat earlier. Okay, so let me tell you guys a story. About a story I give to some of the new guys in DD when they join or something like that, or maybe at the beginning of a course. I don't think I've said this in a long time, so some of the new guys in here, this might be the first time you're hearing it. So before I moved to Miami, most of you guys know I was dating a girl here, and I would come here frequently to visit. And one time, I was in good old Miami, and we ordered an Uber. And I was talking to the guy in the Uber because I'm a sociable guy. I'm nice when I don't want to just be left alone. All right, guys. When I don't just want to be left alone, I'm kind of nice. Okay. And I was talking to the guy. He's asked me what I did, and I told him at the time I was still an engineer at the time. I guess I technically still am, but well, what am I, Max? Max Ignatius, you have to tell me what I am now. I don't even know what my titles are anymore. I'm the CEO of Guava Farm. But I was still an engineer at the time, and so I was explaining to him. He's like, "Dude, yeah, I got a computer science degree," and I was like, "He was my Uber driver," and I was like, "Oh, nice. You just what are you doing right now? You working on a project or something like that, or where are you working at? I was insinuating, hey, what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "No, I'm just in grad school, man. I applied." He told me he applied to jobs after he graduated from his undergraduate and couldn't get a job. And when he talked to his professors about it, because he stayed in touch with his professors, they suggested he go to master's school and get his master's degree in computer science, and that would make it better for him, right? So I started asking him, like, "Yo, dude, how many projects have you actually done? Like, what have you built any applications? Like, have you built any websites? Have you done anything with your code?" He was like, "No," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, personally, I would say that's probably the reason why, is because these people, when you go to apply for places, they want to, they don't even care that you have a fucking degree. All right. People in this chat, plenty of people in DD, you guys know, they don't care if you have a fucking degree. They only care if you can fucking code, and if you can actually code, not if you can just regurgitate an algorithm that you learned in your comp sci 341 algorithms class, or if you know machine code from CS 203. All right, if you can just regurgitate binary or machine code. All right. And he was saying, like, dude, I had an idea. I had a feeling that graduate school was a bad idea, and I don't know if I should have done it. But he's already in debt, and so he's like, now I'm just here driving Uber. And so I'll tell everybody, like, you guys, you can go get a fucking master's degree. It doesn't matter if you can't code, right? So if you never get to the act of actually putting your hand on the keyboard, getting a good mentorship or whatever, asking people who have been there and done that before you, not actually coding, most important part right there. They're not gonna, when you go to an interview and ask you, hey, what kind of projects have you done? Hey, where's your GitHub? Show us your GitHub. And you have nothing on there and you can't explain to them anything you've done or talk about any technologies. They're not gonna hire you. It's a simple fact. Define education, or the $360,000 for a film degree. They are extending childhood. You can put a price on education, but medical school sure costs more than an elderly child education degree. Absolutely, dude. Or underwater basket weaving. Most schools have an accelerated program now where they offer grad school in 1 year instead of 2. Yep, we know why. Trying to keep people in. Master's required, PhD preferred. An educator and an engineer. Yeah, an educator and an engineer is what I am now. A content creator. Whatever you want to say, brah. What kind of engineer is he? Who? Me? I'm a guava engineer. I am the guava engineer. LOL, they sold him the master's degree. Yeah, Tom, you know. Tom knows what's up, guys. Tom knows what's up. I'm a super shadowy guava coder. Yes. Getting into DD December 15th, end of fall quarter. Awesome, dude. We have I think our plan is we're going to have the next course going to be open for enrollment on December 15th. I think we're going to close it on, actually, I think we're going to open on December 11th and we're closing on the 17th. So you'd be just in time for the next course too. I hope my job doesn't find out I don't have a degree. Yeah. Cody's in DD. No degree. Cody just got a better job as well. So congrats to myself for helping you, Cody. Just kidding. But congrats to Cody as well, which we gave the kudos to you, Cody. And Cody doesn't have a fucking degree. Cody was already in the field before he even came to us. He already had a pretty good job as an engineer. And then he went and got an even better one for even more money. No degree. I had a hiring manager decline to even interview people with PhDs unless they had some work experience. I've actually heard, and I don't know about this, but I've actually heard like once you get the PhD, you have to like, you're pretty much just like you're pretty much like you've been out of the real world for too long, and you can pretty much just be like an educator. So I don't know. Then you're kind of just like stuck in that educational collegiate system. I overheard a guy who's going for a PhD because he couldn't find a job after he got his master's degree. Yep. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Kudos, Cody. DD is the truth. Yes, congrats. Yeah, for sure. I'm not surprised to hear about this. And it sucks, man. Like, you know what, too, guys? Like, the thing is, the people that used to go for those types of education back in the day, they weren't just going for a fancy piece of paper, all right? They were going because they wanted to be recognized in their field, all right? They wanted to actually study. They actually wanted to figure things out via studying them, okay? They didn't want to just go. So like people didn't study like nuclear physics in the 1950s and 60s and 70s because they were like, I'm going to graduate school and get a job as a nuclear physicist. No, like they were just generally interested in something in their field. And our educational system has turned from completely something opposite than that, which I talked about on other streams before. Everyone is so consumed with, hey, I have to go get a degree, get a job because I need to make money. Because we live in this Fugazi system, right? So people are too concerned about money, which, hey, I mean, it's a legitimate concern. Everyone needs to be concerned about money because of how things are. But people used to not be so concerned about money. They used to be concerned about doing good things for humanity, being recognized in their field, making discoveries for things, doing things important. And usually when things are like that, those people tend to actually go and do and discover great things. Those people don't exist now because they're stuck going to study some shitty degree that they don't want to study. And they're going to get some shitty desk job they don't want to have just so they can afford their rent. Okay? Claudia says, I like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the father who couldn't get it together bankrupt on his PhD and it never worked out for him. Yeah, guys, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That'll explain a lot of this stuff. Same for getting girls. If you don't go out and get real experience, what you can parrot doesn't mean anything. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Indeed. So I might add, indubitably, sorry about that, guys. Got confused here for a second. But on the topic, I actually am going to be working on a commercial for DD, commercial that I can just like play when I need to go to the bathroom for you guys. But basically what I'll explain in there is that I'll read it to you guys. So I wrote this down because I liked it. Here to develop a direction, you don't get grades because your progress is reflected by your progress in real life. You don't get an over $100,000 in debt because we only have a one-time yearly fee, which, by the way, guys, is about, if you say $100,000, it's about 1% of that. You won't lose your time or waste your time studying on the latest social fad because you'll be busy learning about the fads in the technology market, which is what people are actually here for. That's what people go to school for, right? Or at least if you study computer science at school, I'm assuming that's what you're interested in, right? Not to be learning about whatever that fucking ugly chart was we were looking earlier. I mean, look, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to be like he's a bad man. He hates anyone that's not insert XYZ adjective here. No, I don't. You shouldn't even be thinking about any of that stuff, especially at school in an environment where you're supposed to be learning something and getting something out of it so that you can give back value to the world. You shouldn't even be thinking about that. That should be the last thing on your fucking mind, right? It should be the last thing on your mind. It's like, let's just say you are someone who doesn't even have that opinion. Let's just say you are someone who has an opposite opinion of that. Like the polar opposite. Like maybe you actually have negative feelings towards certain people. You think that like just trying to brainwash them is going to make, because that's what this is. It's just like adult brainwash. Is going to make them change their mind? Fuck no, it's not. It's probably going to harden their heart. They're harden their little hearts even more. So, you know, take that for what it's worth, guys. Have you thought about going to college yet and you haven't, take everything you talked about tonight into consideration and think about that before you could potentially be making not, I don't want to say mistake, but taking an action that could negatively affect your future. Okay. I mean that. I don't want people to have a fucked up, I don't want people to be the ages 23 to 52 and living a miserable life because they decided to take that path. And it was because it was glamorized to them. And it ended up just being the exact opposite of what they were told it was, right? You're going to feel very hurt. You're going to feel very in pain, and you're going to feel like you're tricked. It's not going to be fun, okay? No grades, but won't an employer's ask your GPA to determine if you could code LRL, real JK? No, I never had anyone ask me that. Never. Nerp. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, your grades don't matter if you can code, and they want people to code. Is not having a degree going to, like, is not having a degree in computer science going to prevent you from some places? Yeah, it will. I'd say probably like 5% of them. But by next year, it'll be 4, and then the year after that, it'll be 3, and then 2 and 1. The places that are concerned about that kind of stuff are like legacy companies. And those are the kind of companies that, trust me, if you go and work for them, you're going to be, I'll show you what you're going to be. You guys want to see what you're going to end up being? It's not going to be a very like nice and it's not going to be very nice and loving environment that you'll be in. Not to say that it would be bad, but look, if that's what you're worried about, here's the kind of places that care about that kind of stuff, right? And it most certainly ain't going to be any of the coolest, newest DeFi projects that are going to offer you a lot of money. But hey, hold on. Here you go.
Will or nothing.
Did I share this around?
Und you will.
Good. And hold on, guys. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm sharing the sound on this one. I want to make sure I'm sharing the sound because I love this video so much. Yeah. Okay, guys. Okay. Here we go.
Be happy.
Warning. Your weekly rental smart contract will automatically execute
Uh-oh.
in 72 hours.
Uh-oh.
Please ensure that your personal wallet is appropriately funded. Your scheduled Uber ride share will arrive in 10 minutes. Now arriving at your destination.
我们现在到达您的目的地。
Hey, that's my computer, guys. Holy shit.
Good morning. Waging number 22177.
That's it. Wage number 22477, whatever she said. I mean, I'm being facetious there though, but I mean, if you want to work, like the places that matter, they don't care. I mean that in all seriousness, they don't care if you have whatever piece of paper. All right, unless you're doing some kind of job that legally requires you to have a piece of paper. Okay, they care if you can get the job done and that you do it in an efficient and effective manner, because that's what's important in the real world. Okay. And yes, to this comment, being someone who won't be a burden on the senior engineers, that's what's valued at real companies. Yeah, 100%. Because if you're a senior, you're going to know how busy you're going to be, and having to like constantly do everything for like a new guy. It can be pretty frustrating, right? It can be really fucking frustrating, actually. That's why when I tell the guys when they start, some of the guys start in a certain type of job and like maybe like a level 1 or whatever, I tell them to ask questions as little as possible unless they absolutely need to, i.e. make sure they're trying to solve those problems on their own before they go and ask their coworkers who are seniors, because it's kind of the senior's job to help people out. But if the senior spends their entire time helping people out, they can't actually do any actual code, and then that fucks everything up. He agrees with you. Jaron George says the solution to not getting a job is not more college. I'm surprised how people say they are going to do masters when they don't find a job from bachelor's. Yeah, dude. I mean, because everyone's programmed into thinking that's solution from day one, right? You can't put a price on education, right? Thanks, guys. Thank you for letting me know. Based video. The video needs more bugs. Where's the bugs? Rather to be on the final frontier. Me too, man. I wish there were more FANG emojis so I could spell out the computer brands. Zubair says, what's the most bang for the buck coding niche? Full stack web dev? Bang for your buck. So I guess like in that point, you mean like hourly, or like paid by project. So I know we got a guy in the group who just got his name is Tom, not the other Tom that's in here, a different Tom. It's not his real name, it's his alias Tom. That's what he goes by. And he got a job where he is essentially working for a Web3 company, so a cryptocurrency, Web3, blockchain-based company. And he's basically writing Python scripts for them for analytics. And he needs to do a little bit of Solidity, which, by the way, we taught the young man. And per job, he's getting paid like anywhere between $2,000 or $4,000 per like project that he does. And it's just kind of like a little bit of code that he writes a script together. So, I mean, that's bang for your buck. Let's say it takes you like 8 hours to make like $4,000. It's pretty good in my opinion, especially if you 1099 and you can deduce it. So that's pretty good. Other than that, just any kind of general contracting work, I would say, is going to be the best bang for your buck if time is of the essence. So that's what you mean by bang for your buck. Get good at blockchain and you can make bank from Gitcoin, hackers, and bounties. Yeah, you can do that too. And a lot of these like Web3 crypto companies, they'll pay you a salary and they'll also pay, like, maybe they have their platform, this platform called Panther Protocol. Maybe they were offering, I know when I interviewed with them, they were offering tokens from their protocol as well on top of the already large salary that they were going to include. So get into there, if you can get some place with some incentives, it's going to be a good bang for your buck too. What's a good salary range to get for your first remote coding job? It's going to be different this year. It's going to be higher this year than it would be for most places, but a good salary range would be anywhere between $75,000 to, like, let's say $115,000 a year for your first year. Oh, absolutely achievable. You can actually do much more than that, to be honest with you. But Cookie Moose, Sam saying yes. So I have to reiterate it on again, guys. Just don't. If you do go to college, make sure that you know that you're doing it, not because you need it, but because it's what you really want to do. And if you can find a way to have someone, maybe not yourself, pay for some of it, then go ahead and do it. But if you're not, and you're just an 18-year-old kid and you're thinking about, hey, like, should I do this? Everyone's telling me to do it, but something in my heart is telling me that's wrong. And I think a lot of people, I'm a millennial, a lot of people in my generation talked a lot of the Zoomies out of doing that. And I think we did a good job. And some of them come to me and they're like, yo, dude, should I go to college? Something seems wrong about it. And just think about it, guys. All right. Just think about it before you put yourself into $350,000 of debt. All right. And that wasn't it. It might be more than that. So I love you guys. You have a great night. And I will see you guys on Monday. Later.